Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to take a look at what really drives people financially, when they start exploring making money online.
Mhm.
We're focusing specifically on users of MyLeadGenSecret, or MLGS.
Right.
Our source is this really interesting open source research by Peter over on Affilibear. It digs into the actual income targets people are setting.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. It gets past the vague idea of getting rich and looks at the specific numbers.
Exactly. So, what are these concrete goals? What numbers get people really motivated to jump into online income?
Well, that's the mission, right? To understand those milestones. We're talking actual dollar figures that mean something to people trying this out.
Okay, so let's start with one that pops up everywhere in the make money online world, the $100 a day idea.
Ah, yes. The magic number.
It really feels like that, doesn't it? The research calls it that too. What's the deal with $100 a day? Why is that specific figure so, well, significant?
Well, I think a big part of it is psychological. It works out to, what, around $3,000 a month?
Roughly, yeah.
And for a lot of people, that feels like the point where, a side hustle stops being just pocket money and starts looking like real substantial income.
A game changer, maybe?
Could be.
Yeah.
It's maybe that first step towards thinking, hey, this could actually properly improve my situation. It might also tie into how some online things pay out daily or weekly.
Oh, right. Quicker feedback than a monthly salary.
Exactly. You get that validation sooner, that feeling of making progress day by day.
That makes a lot of sense. It's crossing a threshold, isn't it? From just trying something out to seeing, okay, there's real potential here.
Hmm.
And it's not just a random number people latch onto, is it? The research actually points out that lots of MMO offers, the products people promote.
Yeah, different systems and programs.
Right. And even the emails going out to MLGS leads the potential customers. They often use this exact number. You see things like, get started making $100 per day.
Or your first $100 is closer than you think. That kind of thing.
Exactly. They're tapping right into that specific goal.
Oh, absolutely. From a marketing perspective, it's smart, isn't it? It's specific, it sounds achievable, it's not some wild promise of millions tomorrow.
Right. It gives you a clear target.
Yeah, a concrete short-term goal that feels like something you can actually aim for.
Yeah.
Really kicks off that motivation.
Okay, so $100 a day is a big one. But the research also seems to stress the importance of the smaller steps before that.
Definitely.
Like just making your first $100 total or managing to pull in a few $100s consistently each month. Why are those smaller amounts so crucial early on?
Well, think about it. Starting out online can feel daunting.
Sure can. Lots of noise.
So actually getting that first commission or seeing, say, $200 land in your account for the month is huge validation. It's like, okay, this isn't just hype. It can work. It builds belief.
Build momentum too, I guess.
Exactly. It's proof of concept for you.
And again, it seems like the marketing, the way MLGS and similar things are promoted gets this. The research gives examples, right? Like a former skeptic made $105 in a single day in his second month.
Yeah, or hearing about regular folks hitting $1,000 a month with MLGS.
Those aren't like quit your job tomorrow numbers, but they're relatable. They show it's possible for ordinary people.
Precisely. It's powerful social proof. It shows others what's realistic, especially in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
And, we shouldn't underestimate what an extra $1,000 a month actually means to someone.
Good point.
Like the research notes, that could cover a mortgage payment for some people or a car payment. That's real financial pressure being eased.
So it's not just a number, it's what that number does.
Exactly. It provides breathing room, maybe foundation to build more.
And there's a statistic in the research, too. Something like 35% of people who start a side hustle and get some traction actually scale it up to over $1,000 a month.
Yeah, that's a really interesting figure. It suggests that, okay, maybe getting started is the hardest part, but hitting that $1K mark isn't some impossible dream for a good chunk of people who stick with it.
Right. It reinforces that those early wins aren't just flukes, they're steps.
They're stepping stones, yeah.
Okay, so speaking of bigger steps, the ultimate dream for a lot of people seems to be ditching the 9 to 5 altogether.
The quit my job goal, yes.
What kind of income levels are we talking about there? For MLGS users aiming for that, what numbers come up?
The research shows a bit of a range. You see targets like $3,000 a month, which links back to that $100 a day.
Right.
But also $5,000, $10,000 a month, sometimes even more. Some people explicitly talk about aiming for, 6 figures annually.
Wow, okay. So serious income replacement.
Yeah, but it's important to see the split. The research suggests Maybe around 20% of people doing this are really aiming to fully replace their job income.
And the other 80%?
They're more in the extra money camp,
Yeah.
happy to supplement their main income, maybe ease financial stress, but not necessarily looking to leave their job entirely.
That makes sense. Different levels of ambition, different needs.
Absolutely, and you see that reflected in the MLGS user base too, probably. Newer folks might be thrilled with a consistent few $100. More experienced people might be setting their sights much higher, aiming for that full salary replacement. It also taps into that whole desire for more freedom and control, doesn't it?
Yeah, the autonomy thing, being your own boss.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
digital nomad idea, even if they're not traveling, just controlling your time.
So you've got this spectrum, small initial goals, then maybe $100 a day, then the big quit my job number. How do the short-term goals feed into the long-term ones? The research mentioned motivation.
Yeah, it's about momentum, like we said, but also like dopamine hits, basically.
Ah, okay, explain.
Well, those smaller achievable goals, making that first $50 commission, hitting $100 a day for a whole week, they give you these little bursts of satisfaction.
Little wins.
Little wins,
Oh.
exactly. They feel good. They keep you engaged, keep you coming back, trying again. They make the whole thing feel less like a grind.
And those keep you going towards the bigger picture.
Precisely. Because the bigger picture, that long-term vision, is often about financial freedom, right?
That phrase comes up a lot.
It does. It means different things to different people,
Hmm.
but usually it involves more control over time, income, lifestyle, not being tied to the 9 to 5 grind.
Okay.
So for many MLGS leads, hitting those specific income targets, salary replacement, 6 figures, whatever it is, that's how they see themselves achieving that freedom.
Yeah.
The small goals fuel the journey towards the big vision.
It's interesting how those specific numbers become so central and how that influences behavior. The research mentioned email subject lines.
Oh, yeah. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
That's so...
Well, if your head is full of the idea, I need to make $100 a day, and then an email pops into your inbox with the subject line, $5 per day method revealed,
You're going to click it.
you're definitely going to click it. It speaks directly to your immediate goal, your aspiration. It cuts through everything else.
So the goals aren't just wishes, they actually drive actions, like what marketing messages people respond to.
Absolutely. They shape attention. They shape decisions. It's quite direct.
Okay, but let's bring in a bit of a reality check here. The research included some data comparing average side hustle income with the median income.
Right. And this is a really crucial distinction. It helps manage expectations.
So what did it say?
Well, the average person with a side hustle apparently makes around $892 a month, which sounds okay, right?
Yeah, almost $1,000. Not bad.
But the median income, meaning the exact middle person, where half earn more and half earn less, is way lower. It's just $200 a month or even less.
Wow, that's a huge difference. $892 average, but $200 median.
It is. And what it tells you is that the average is being skewed upwards by a relatively small number of people earning quite a lot.
Like the example, if 9 people have $1 and one person has $91.
Exactly that kind of scenario. The average is $10, but almost everyone just has $1. So the reality for most people starting out is likely closer to that $200 mark or less.
That really puts things in perspective.
It does. It shows that while high earnings are possible, they're not the norm. Success isn't guaranteed, despite how optimistic some marketing might sound.
So for many MLGS users, just getting past that $200 a month barrier consistently would actually be a pretty big deal.
A very significant achievement, yeah. It means they've broken out of that sort of bottom tier and are starting to see some real tangible return for their efforts.
And understanding that that makes the $100 a day goal, the $3,000 plus a month, seem even more aspirational.
Definitely. Hitting that level puts you way, way ahead of the typical side hustler. It truly is a significant milestone when you look at the broader picture.
Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up. We've dived into these financial goals for people using MLGS. It seems like there's a clear path many people envision.
Yeah, progression.
It starts with needing those initial small wins, right? That
Yeah.
first sale, the first couple $100 a month. That gives you the belief, the validation.
Crucial early on.
Then there's that big psychological marker. $100 a day, around $3K a month. That feels like the shift towards potentially serious income.
The first major peak, you could say.
And then for some, maybe around that 20%, the ultimate goal is replacing the 9 to 5 income entirely, hitting 5K, $10, maybe more, all driven by this bigger idea of financial freedom.
Exactly. And underpinning all of it is the power of those specific concrete numbers.
Yeah, that really stood out.
They're not just vague hopes. These dollar figures, $100, $1,000, $10,000, they act as powerful motivators. They shape what people pay attention to, what actions they take. They carry real psychological weight in this whole make money online space.
Really fascinating to break it all down.
Yeah.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about your own goals, whatever they might be. Are there magic numbers for you? What specific benchmarks really motivate you, and how do they shape how you tackle new things you try? Definitely something to consider.
Good question to ponder.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.